Welcome to Bon Jovi Discussions. I have my friend Debbie from Canada. How are you?
I'm awesome. Enjoying
Good.
our sunny day, and it's
It,
great
it,
here.
it's so well in my house. It's nice and cool, but my gosh, the outside it is just boiling right now.
Oh,
Ah, yeah. I'm
it
looking.
will be for us a little later, but right now it's early enough that it's still coolish.
Ah, well. Anyway, Deb, before we get into our topic, because I'm really looking forward to this discussion, I always like to ask my guests, how did you become a Bon Jovi fan?
Well, many years ago, probably I'm guessing as best as I can, about 15 years ago,
Did you say
I went,
15 or 50?
it's about 15. Come on,
Okay.
I didn't know Bon Jovi when I was that young. He wasn't there.
I was gonna say, I don't know if they were around 50 years ago. Anyway,
So anyway, I happened to be going down. Mom and I always did a puzzle night on Friday nights. So as soon as I got my daughter to sleep and knew she was asleep, down I'd go. And we'd be up till like 1:30 in the morning working on jigsaw puzzles and listening to music. So I went down one night, as usual. And Mom goes, "You got to hear this album." She said, "Put Bon Jovi on." And I thought, who the heck is Bon Jovi?
who dat?
Plugged it in. I was like, oh my gosh, I was so hooked. I swear that was in the pile every Friday night from the first time I heard it.
What song was it?
All of them.
On
Like
the
I
like, what's the song that really pulled? It was "Keep the Faith" album.
it was the whole album. I love every song on it.
That's a great.
But Blame It on the Love of Rock and Roll is my favorite because just the way he explains about feeling it in his blood and feeling it in his bones. That's how I feel about music when it's one that grabs you.
Yeah,
That's how it grabs me.
yeah. So it was a "Keep the Faith" album that really pulled you into the band.
Well, let's put it this way. That was the only album I heard for years until I met you.
Yeah,
And then you're going, the Lost Highway, you got to check that one out. You got to check this one out. And then Susie was doing the same thing, like, oh, you got to hear this one and that one. And that's how it grew.
yeah.
It
It's
started with that album for 15 years before I heard any others.
I never realized the what's the word I want to look. I don't want to say the word impact. I don't know if that's the right word, but let's just go with that. The impact that I would have on Twitter with people because some not general Bon Jovi fans would start following me because they like Bon Jovi. They've heard Slippery New Jersey and stuff. But like obviously I post some really deep tracks. I post some, hardcore fan stuff, okay? And that stuff has pulled them to love the band even more. People that were like that never heard of Something to Believe in. I posted a video of Something to Believe in. I never heard this song before. What song is this album from? Like, these days, check it out. They check out These Days and they just start to love the band even more. So I've had a few friends this year tell me that they've gone into this band a lot more because of the content that I've put out. And I think that's the coolest thing
Oh,
because
yeah.
a lot of
Well,
people miss out on some really good music because my wife is the perfect example. When we met, gosh, 8 years ago, she only knew Prayer and It's My Life. And she didn't even really know that those songs were by Bon Jovi. She just knew of the songs. And obviously, Bon Jovi shoved down her throat every day. What's her favorite song? Something to Believe in.
oh,
And
there
she
are some.
loves all the deep tracks more than the hits,
Well, I used to have a lot of albums on my playlist on YouTube, but I changed my email address and I lost everything.
Ooh,
So
you
I have to start all over again, collecting all the albums because I had the what's the one with the I can't think with the 10,000 fans or whatever.
100 million Bon Jovi fans,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's the one. I've got to get that one back on. And these days, and
Yeah.
but as I say, trying to do a podcast with them, would have been hard because this one I can physically hold the CD and look at the lyrics. I can't do that as
Yeah.
easily with those ones.
Yeah.
But there's so many songs like "Thank You for Loving Me,"
Oh,
"These Five Words."
yeah.
That one came in my head one day at work, and I was so happy. I just kept going in my head all day long when it was quiet.
Well, Debbie, let's get into our topic and The first time I heard the music, I thought it was my own. I could feel it in my heartbeat. I could feel it in my bones. That's right. We're going to talk about Blame It on the Love of Rock and Roll, which was the 11th track on Keep the Faith. In other words, it is probably one of the most underrated Bon Jovi songs in their catalog and on Keep the Faith. It is probably, if I dare say, I would probably put it in my top three favorites on Keep the Faith. I
Oh,
just, you know, it probably goes I Want You, um, Blame It on the Love of Rock and Roll, and probably Fear. And yeah, I'm going to go down a rabbit hole. So let's just get back right into the song. So we're going to talk about Blame It on the Love of Rock and Roll, which is such a gem. And I know it's one of your favorites. So before we get into the whole meaning, lyrics, this, that, why is it your favorite song?
just grabs me because for me, it speaks about what John and Richie felt when first thinking about wanting to be into rock and roll. And it sort of, to me, also in some ways reflects how parents or society
Yeah.
would reflect on that goal because, of course, they want you to be something bigger than the rock and roll
Yeah.
star. And it just speaks volumes about how they have the idea that they want to do this,
Hmm.
but also the somewhat negativity of society on
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
And thank gosh they never listened to society because they'd never be where they are today.
Exactly. I think just like the perfect example of what you just said, on the other hand of that too, it's that societal pushback to the rebellions in, especially back then. I think it's kind of
Yeah,
faded off, but like back then, if you listened to rock and roll music, the devil was influencing you. I mean, like look at
yeah,
Elvis Presley, for example. From
yeah.
him just swaying his hips, that was banned on TV.
Oh, yeah,
Look at the stuff that is out now. I was just telling this to, I think we were talking on Twitter the other day. The Living in Sin music video was banned on MTV because it mixed religion and sex.
yeah,
And you watch the Living in Sin music video now compared to what's on TV now. Living in
yeah.
Sin looks like you're watching Barney or Blue's Clues compared to what you're seeing. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
what's so bad about it? So I think, especially like when this song was written, it's that societal pushback for the young kids and who rebel and just have that passion for their music, and you're saying, you know what? I know this music is for me because I could feel it in my heartbeat. I could feel it in my bones. My mommy says I'm crazy. Dad says I'm insane. And then you get, later in the song, you have the preacher that says, for a small donation, your soul will be saved. And, and then John comes back and says, I don't think so, preacher. I'll come back another day. And then, later on in the song, my teachers didn't like me because I wore my hair too long. Um, so that whole rock and roll influence, wearing your hair too long and that whole rebellion thing, I think it's just so great. And I also think it's like a theme for us as fans because that's how I feel so much about this band. I could feel it in my heartbeat. I could feel it in my bones. The way that Bon Jovi captivates me, their music, no other band can make me feel like that.
Yeah.
The way that their music speaks to me, and the way that it's influenced me, and no other band has that impact on me like Bon Jovi does. It has a different. People ask me, why is Bon Jovi your favorite band? Well, they don't compare to any other band. They're on another level. So I think in a way that's how this song makes me feel. They're my band,
Yeah,
you
well,
know?
yeah. I mean, I have a lot of, millions of different songs from all different groups,
Yeah.
but they all grab me that way. It's in the bones, it's in the my blood. It's just how I feel with my songs. And if it's songs that I go, nah, they don't get on playlists of mine. But I said Bon Jovi, as I say, from the first time I heard it, I was like, wow, I
Yeah.
don't know who these guys are, but I love this album.
And I also think it's about finding the joy and freedom in these lyrics too, because it's like that one line, they don't understand what we all know.
Yeah.
like you and me and all the other hardcore Bon Jovi fans, nobody understands what this band means to us other than you, me, and like I said, the other millions of fans. Like perfect example is like I go see Bon Jovi in concert, and after a concert, I'll just talk about the show for hours with other fans. And we'll,
Yeah. Yeah.
I can talk with other Bon Jovi fans all day about this band. I
Yeah.
come home and my wife will only want to hear it for a couple of minutes. My friends won't want to hear it at all. My friends, how was the show last night? It was good. And then I'll start going down this whole rabbit hole. They did this song and this happened. And dude, I just wanted to know if it was good or not. So,
Oh,
so it's good because we're such a unique group because we all get each other. We know how much this band
oh yeah.
impacts our lives and stuff.
Well, you stop and you think if John had listened to society, he might have been pushing paper in an office. We wouldn't have had all the albums we've had for 40 plus years.
Yep.
And there would be no soul kitchen to help other people. I
Yep.
said, if he had listened to society, none of this would be happening. We wouldn't be having this conversation.
We weren't
Thank,
born to follow. Wrong
thank
album.
gosh he did listen.
Mhm. Yeah.
Thank God he didn't listen.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's one of the great things I love about Bon Jovi is that some of their music is about, not following the norm and going at your own path and your own pace and believing in what you believe in. Even if it's
Yeah.
not the most popular opinion, you're following your heart.
Well,
And,
yeah.
and so, and you want to know what's a crime though, Debbie? Is this song has only ever, and I'm forgetting which it got played, but it was on the I'll Sleep When I'm Dead tour. This song has only ever been played one time, to my knowledge.
What a
One.
shame. What a shame.
This would be such a cool show opener,
Oh,
especially on the I'll Sleep When I'm Dead tour back in '93. This would have been really cool.
see, now that would be a tour I'd love because that's another song I really love because I can relate because I don't
Ah,
sleep well at night. And I said, when I'm dead, I'll sleep. People don't like hearing that. And I said, but it's true. I said, I sleep so poorly.
yeah,
I said, I'm usually awake at 4 o'clock in the morning or whatever. And it's just like rolling around and
yeah,
it's just nuts.
yeah.
But I said, no, when I'm gone, I said, I'll rest.
Yeah. Every time I listen to Blame It on the Love, I always just think of how it would look live. And just seeing like I can just envision the fans clapping back, and I just think it would have been such a great song, especially in '93.
I, I could just picture John on the stage. Can you imagine how hyper he'd be doing
Yeah,
this song?
yeah,
I said, I can see it jumping and bouncing
yeah.
around. And
I think it's kind of like one of those songs like "Lay Your Hands on Me." It's that band and fans connection.
yeah,
Like I said earlier, they don't understand what we all know. So like that band between the fans interaction. Let's talk about this song musically. Um, I can swear on it. I swear that's a cowbell in the beginning of the song. When
oh,
he goes drumming, that's gotta be a cowbell. But
I've
I
never seen
think
a video on it though.
there's no video on this song. So the live
That's
performance that they did in
okay.
'93, there's no video of it. There's some rough audio out there. Um,
Okay, then we should ask John because he'll be getting a posting of this tagged in this. John, you need to show us a video on how this song is done.
all we need to know is if there is a cowbell, and I swear there is. That's a
I'm
cowbell.
sure that is.
And it's such a nice touch to the song because I think it adds a little fun to
Well,
the
I'm
song.
I'm I'm thinking Tico could answer that one because I'm sure that would be on
Somebody's
the
got to
drum
answer.
set.
Yeah, somebody's got to. But
I tell you that John and Richie wrote the song
yeah,
and they did a beautiful job of writing it, but the
yeah,
band brought it to life
yeah.
to
And I,
me.
and I want to talk about the Richie solo on it, and the way that David and Richie's mix come together. The way that Richie plays that solo, and then if you listen, some of the Richie solo gets toned down a little bit, and then David comes in a little louder, that da, 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 and then Richie comes
Yeah.
back up. I think that's such a great mix. And I don't think I know I don't have any in my archives. and I don't think there's any on Backstage with Bon Jovi. I don't think there's any demos of the song out there. And
Well,
I
then
would,
they need to get on that.
yeah, I'd love to hear some of the demos
Wouldn't it?
for this
Wouldn't it?
song.
I would
Uh,
love to see a video of this song.
yeah.
As closest I came to it was a commercial with it playing in the background.
Mhm.
I can't even remember what the commercial was for because I was so busy
Yeah.
singing along to this.
Yeah. But yeah, it's such a this song is just such a gem. And so when you mentioned you wanted to talk about this song, I was like, 100% I will talk about this song because a lot of people talk about it. And I think it's such a great tune.
It is. It's amazing. I just
Yeah.
love it. I
Yeah.
love the beat. I love the lyrics. I said it just grabs me, and it has right from the start.
Was there anything else that you wanted to say about the song that we didn't cover than we should have?
Let me just quickly look. Um, I love his lyrics where he's saying that it feels so good it ought to be
Oh,
illegal. Got my vaccination from a phonograph needle.
yeah.
I
And
said it speaks
yeah.
volumes.
You know what's funny now, like today's generation, they're like, what's a phonograph needle? Like I did actually have
Oh,
I did have a Bon Jovi fan. They were just discovering the band. I think they were like 18. And this was a while ago, but they tweeted me. They're like, I'm listening to Blame on the Love of Rock and Roll, but there's a lyric saying that he got a vaccination from a phonograph needle. What does that mean? I'm like, well, do you know what a phonograph needle is? They're gonna know what's that. If you knew what it was, you know what. Obviously, I educated her and
oh, oh yeah.
yeah.
Well, we
I was
all
like,
knew them. I,
yeah,
I go back when there was only LPs back then.
exactly. You know,
Yeah.
so yeah, that was fun. But yeah, I love that. I got my vaccination from a phone. I'll never grow up and I'll never grow old. Blame it on the love of rock and roll.
Well,
Yeah.
my vaccination needle was on an old stereo console with the material speaker covers on each
Oh my
side. That's my mom's, but that was where all the LPs were played.
Well, Debbie, thank you for coming on today. I had such a blast talking about this song with you, and I look forward to having you on again sometime. Anything else that you want to say before we end the recording?
No, but I just suggest to everybody that has not heard the song, play it.
Yes, and
It'll
then
grab you.
play it, and then have it on repeat for the rest of the day and tomorrow and
Oh,
years
yeah.
to come. You know,
It's one that should be heard more often than it is.
one of the best. The whole album "Keep the Faith" is incredible. It really is. But like I said, top tracks are "I Want You" and "Blame It on the Love," and they're at the end of the record, and they get kind of not unnoticed but unnoticed. Because "In These Arms" and "Bed of Roses" and those are great songs. But when people hear "Keep the Faith," they think of those songs.
Yeah. Oh, I think of the whole album because I just
Yeah.
love every track.
Yeah.
Every track.
All right, Debbie. Thank you so much. Stay on. I'm gonna end the
Okay.
recording. Thank you for coming
Okay.
on today, and we'll talk to you
Oh, it's
soon.
lots of fun. It was
Good.
easier than I
I
thought.
told you. When people say, "Oh, Jerry, I'm so nervous to come on the podcast," I said, "Trust me. When we get to talking, you won't want to shut up, and you just want to, you know." So thanks
Oh,
again, Debbie.
good. Okay, thank you.
All right.